Well, hello Tilters, and today we have a new deck tech for you. We're going to take a look at Mono Black Control here in MTG Arena. Mono Black Control is a control deck that seems to have appeared out of recently with the appearance of Dominaria. We have things like Cabal Stronghold that really help our mana, as well as Dreadshade and Josu. So the introduction of Dominaria has really helped push Mono Black Control to the top tier. While it may not be like tier 1 or tier 0, we're definitely looking at like tier 1.5, somewhere around there. So let's hop in and take a look at our deck. So let's just start, right? So over here in our 2-drop slot we have 2 Argyle's Bloodfast. And this is really here to help us with card draw, which is something that Mono Black Control kind of really struggles with, in comparison to something with a blue-based control that has a lot of card draw. We don't really have that much, so we're going to put in 2 Bloodfast. Typically we don't really flip it, we don't have many creatures to sacrifice, and we're typically just going to eat away at our life total to just keep gaining cards. We have 3 Cast Down as one of our removal spells, right? So it's a 1 black, destroy target non-legendary creature. It handles a lot of the things that we need to take care of. It does not handle a lot of the big things such as Hazoret or Scarab God or Lyra or any of those, which is fine. That's why we only have 3 of them. Our second 2-piece removal is Moment of Craving. This is target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn, and you gain 2 life. So we're running 3 of these, and this helps us a lot against aggro. So red deck wins, merfolk, vampires, knights, things like that that have a really explosive start. This can help kind of tone that back and help gain back some life for us. We're running 3 Treasure Map. Again, in black we lack a lot of the card draw that we see in blue-based control, so we want as much control over our draws as possible, so we're running 3 of these. Then when it flips, the treasure tokens are great for additional mana later on to help with our finishers or with Karn, or it can help us draw cards later on in the game as well. In the 3-drop slot, we're running 1 Bontu's Last Reckoning. Destroy all creatures. Lands you control do not untap during your next untap step. So originally we were running a couple of Phyrexian Scriptures as sweepers, and unfortunately people were just kind of playing around it. It wasn't that great as far as the sweeper is concerned. They kind of saw it coming. So instead we swapped those out and we added 1 Bontu's. The downside of Bontu's can be kind of harsh, but typically we've got enough mana, especially in the later game, to be playing around with that it doesn't hurt that bad. Running 3 Doomfall. Both options here are great. You know, the first option, exiles a creature they control, can be great against hexproof stuff, or if they're just kind of running something that's difficult for us to get to. And even the second part is great against stuff like blue-white approach, where we can strip some approach from their hands and stuff like that. Also in the 3-drop slot, we have Dreadshade, which comes in as a 3/3, and then if you pay 1 black, Dreadshade gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Dreadshade plays 2 basic roles here in Mono Black Control. 1, we can drop him early if we need to kind of stop the hemorrhage from aggro decks. However, he works much better if we drop him late game and use him as a finisher. I mean, even if we drop him on turn 3, next turn, realistically, he could be a 6/6, which is pretty awesome. So just keep that in mind. He can play multiple roles, but ideally he does work better as a finisher. We're running 2 Golden Demise. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. However, if we have City's Blessing, only our opponent's creatures get -2/-2. So this is just an early sweeper to help us against aggro, again against merfolk or knights or red deck wins, vampires, things like that. Moving on to our 4-drop slot, we have Josu Vest Lich King, which is a 4-drop 4/5 menace. However, where Josu really shines is a kicker. And so if we pay an additional 6, when we drop him, we'd also drop 8 2/2 black zombie knight creatures with menace. So for us, it's super easy to get to 10 mana at probably around turn 7 or so if we've got a Cabal Stronghold out. So we can definitely use Josu as kind of a finisher, which is really nice. We are running 3 Ravenous Chupacabra. While Chupacabra is a creature, and mostly control decks are usually creature light, Chupacabra does act as a removal, and we could always just go on the Chupacabra beatdown plan if we really needed to. We are running 3 Vraska's Contempt, which, while it is an expensive removal spell, it is one of the best, if not the premier removal spell in the format. It can help us gain back some life, take care of difficult to deal with creatures such as Scarab God, Hazoret, Phoenix, and things like that. We are running 3 Karn, Scion of Urza, 4-drop, comes in it with 5 loyalty. His +1 ability is pretty good for us, again helping us draw cards. And then whatever we don't get, if he stays around, we can always -1 and get it back. And we are running 3 of them, so even if we were to +1 and then they remove him, we could always drop another one, then -1 automatically to get our card back. His -2 ability is okay and can be used to end the game, but I wouldn't recommend it until after we have a flipped treasure map and we've got some treasure tokens sitting on the field. That's usually where he's best. From there, we also have 2 Torment of Hailfire. Originally we were running 3, but it felt a little clunky. It showed up in our opening hand a little bit more than we would like. Between our mana base with Cabal Stronghold and treasure map, we can generate a lot of mana, and this is great. And I mean, Torment of Hailfire really should be held off until the end and used as a finisher, when you're dropping it for like an additional 8-10 mana and forcing the opponent to basically get rid of everything. And even if they have no cards right late game when it's in top deck mode, it's wonderful and can definitely finish out the game. We run 3 Cabal Stronghold, and this is really what helps the deck shine. Cabal Stronghold really shouldn't be activated until after turn 6, when it can actually start to generate additional mana. That's when we really start to just exponentially take off and start to control the game. And then to go with Cabal Stronghold, we're running 23 Swamps. So our mana base is 26 lands in total. We originally played around with a couple of utility lands, such as Ifnir Deadlands and Field of Ruin. However, they didn't synergize that well with Cabal Stronghold and didn't allow us to kind of take off. It created much less consistency in the deck, and overall that wasn't what we were looking for. So we found that swapping to just all swamps has really helped Cabal Stronghold take off. And so that's the deck, guys. This is kind of version 2.0, and we might be adjusting it later on. But thanks very much for listening to the Deck Tech. We're going to go play a quick Constructed League with it, and we'll see how we do. Thanks very much.